Most people believe awakening is something rare, a special experience reserved for monks, mystics, or enlightened beings. They imagine it as a flash of light, a supernatural event, a moment where everything suddenly makes sense. But awakening is often much quieter than that. Sometimes it begins with exhaustion, the exhaustion of chasing happiness and never quite catching it, the exhaustion of becoming everything the world expected you to be, while feeling increasingly disconnected from yourself. And eventually a question appears: who am I beneath all of this? Beneath the name, beneath the history, beneath the successes and failures, beneath the opinions I inherited from others, who am I when all that falls away? For thousands of years, human beings have asked this question. Siddhartha Gautama left behind comfort to understand suffering. Lao-Tzu taught that peace emerges when we stop resisting life. Rumi wrote of losing oneself to discover something greater. Different cultures, different centuries, yet all pointing toward the same mystery. The possibility that the person you think you are is only a small part of what you truly are. Most people live inside thought. The mind judges, compares, remembers, predicts, creates stories about everything. And because that voice has been present for so long, people mistake it for themselves. They say, I am anxious, I am broken, I am my past, I am my fear. But awakening begins with a simple realization. If you can observe your thoughts, you cannot be the thoughts themselves. If you can witness fear, you cannot be the fear. If you can notice sadness, you cannot be the sadness. There is something deeper watching all of it, something silent, something unchanged, something that has been present through every stage of your life. Everything changed, yet something remained. Something has been looking through your eyes. Since the beginning, awakening is the recognition of that presence, not as a belief, not as a philosophy, but as a direct experience. And once this realization begins, life starts to look different. You no longer need to win every argument. You no longer need to control every outcome. You no longer need life to unfold perfectly to feel at peace, because you begin to see what so many teachers have tried to explain. Peace was never hiding inside achievement. It was never waiting inside possessions. It was never locked inside status, recognition, or approval. It was hidden beneath the noise, beneath the endless activity of the mind, beneath the belief that you were incomplete. Many people spend decades trying to become enough for society, enough for family, enough for strangers, enough for themselves. Yet awakening reveals one of the most beautiful truths a human being can discover. You do not become worthy, you realize you always were. The search itself was the obstacle. The mind kept running toward what was already here. And perhaps that is why awakening is often described as both a death and a rebirth. The death of illusion, the death of false identity, the death of the endless struggle to become someone, and the rebirth of presence, awareness, being not perfect, not superior, not special, just awake. Awake enough to stop chasing yourself. Awake enough to stop searching for home everywhere else. Awake enough to recognize that what you have been seeking through every achievement, every relationship, every desire, and every fear has been quietly present within you all along. Perhaps awakening is not becoming someone new. Perhaps awakening is finally remembering who you were before the world told you who to be echoes within.